over the disruptions and land expropriation caused by the seaway development. They were angry over the pollution caused by the smelters and refineries along the St. Lawrence. And they were frustrated by the futility of pressing their case through peaceful negotiation. The seeds of the Warriors movement were sown.
You had a new generation growing up of young men who had seen their parents try to use the legal system to stop this expropriation and fail. They had seen enormously powerful interests arrayed against them, and then they had seen the white man ruin the land on which they lived. And at that point they'd had enough, and so they began to think about other ways.
This incident in 1973 profoundly affected all North American Indians. The National Guard and police against armed Indians in a tense standoff at Wounded Knee in South Dakota. Indians were serving notice that passive resistance would not be the way of the future.
I was kind of appalled that none of us knew really the significance of what was happening in Wounded Knee at that time.
The incident was an awakening for Art Montour, a Mohawk from the Kahnawake Reserve.
And so it was from that point that I really tried to understand what was happening in Wounded Knee in relationship to ourselves as Mohawks.
The year of Wounded Knee also marked the birth of the Warriors Society. Mohawk militants, some of whom had taken part in the earlier nonviolent demonstrations, now took up weapons and called themselves the Warriors. For the next 17 years, they were involved in a series of armed conflicts. The 1973 eviction of hundreds of non-native residents in Kahnawake was the first act directly attributed to the recently formed Warriors Society. It turned into a bloody clash between Warriors and Quebec police. 3 men who took part in that incident remained key influences on the Warriors Society to the present day. First, Louis Hull, the Warriors' philosopher king, artist and author of the Warriors Manifesto. His paintings and writing reflect a doctrine that summons the ancient fighting spirit and calls on Mohawks to assert their sovereignty through armed aggression. It's a seductive gospel for militants. Might is right.
Only the strong have peace. You can't have peace without having power, see? That's the idea of guns anyway, is to be so strong that you can have peace.
Second, Paul de la Ronde, one-time war chief or commander in the Warriors Society. He remains a prominent player, and during the summer was involved in the blockade of Montreal's Mercier Bridge. And third, Art Montour, who goes by his Mohawk name, Gaguila Gelu. He's currently serving a 10-month prison term in the United States for blocking a police raid of a casino on a Mohawk reserve.
I was a warrior when I was born. I'll be a warrior when I die. That is the tradition of our people. And as long as I believe in the sovereignty of Mohawk people, then I have no alternative. That is my duty and obligation.
A lot of people are asking, who are the warriors of today? How many are there? What's the age range? Can you give us a description of the warriors of today?
If you really looked at the warriors beyond the title warriors and beyond what's in the media about how they're not very nice people, etc., you'll see that they're iron workers. You see that they work in